Hello, good evening ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's now the 11th 2006, the 11th month of course, 2006, and this is one of the first videos that's been produced here regarding the room here. And this is Vanny's workshop, and the only radio that's in this room at the moment is that one over there that keeps me entertained with talk sport during the day, and that's the only one here. I keep doing everything else but getting to the workshop here, and so just thought I'd show you a few pictures of the workshop and just what sort of state it is in at the moment. Absolute disastrous. Hello again, ladies and gents. The Vanny's workshop. Brilliant is that whistle, it really is. Anyway, this is my workshop here, and there's going to be workbenches going from there all the way across to there. Now, as you can see, if I can just get a bit closer, I've just made a box section, and this box section of course is going to hold don't worry about that, by the way folks, it's meant to be like that. You will see why all at the end. Okay, can you see that there? Hello ladies and gentlemen again, this is the Vanny. And now if you remember last time on the last video, you just saw a little bit of it built there. Now you should get an idea of what we wanted to achieve there. So let's have a look at that. Oh, it's very, very, very enjoyable. You've got to slurp it, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't slurp it. Right, you can see there I'm not too brilliant at joinery. But you can see the joints. You can see there how the weight's taken downwards, like so, and in every area like that, and then it just goes down to the deck like that. You can see what I mean about the joint. Do you get what I mean? Can you see what I mean? And I think I've showed you them on I already. But all the way it just goes down, and it's just to allow a platform, of what it's you know, all gonna sit on. It's got to be strong, you see folks, this is the thing, because you never know what you're going to be bringing in, you know, big heavy televisions or whatever. Who knows, you know, so that's about the size of it. And of course I was going to build another area here underneath the window, but I realised then that getting to the window to open windows etc is going to be near on impossible. You're going to have to keep climbing up all the time. And then I realised then that oops, it's going to be much bigger actually than I contemplated. I mean, there's a heck of a lot of space there, and the reason why I've got two vertical legs coming down at that side and two vertical legs coming down at that side is because I wanted that space in the middle there where you can put your feet. You know, you'll be able to, the work area will probably be roughly in the middle of it all there. So I wanted all that space there underneath there to be able to put your legs in any position you want. The last thing you want, folks, when you're working on radios and stuff is to be uncomfortable. You want to be comfortable. So that's why we'd have all that space underneath there to be able to do that. Now the next mission, of course, now is shelving, and shelving's going to go underneath all that side there, all being well, and shelving's going to go all under that side there. Okay, is something that we didn't have before, and we need more space. And then there's going to be another shelf unit that's going to go all the way across there, but that shelf won't come in until the worktops are actually on. And the reason for that is because the worktop will be supporting the weight of the middles of the runs all the way across, and then there'll probably be another shelf above that, but the next shelf above will probably come afterwards. Okay, so just a little glimpse around what's going on here. Hello again, ladies and gents. Time to show you a little bit more of the workshop here. It's an absolute scruffy disaster here at the moment. Let me just show you some of the debris that's caused. All the waste timber. There's always waste timber. Can you see? It's just unreal, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the drill bits that's been used there, and some of the tools that's required for the job. If you were to see, ladies and gents, how many tools I've got, you'd be gobsmacked. As you can see, the windowsill's taking refuge of loads of different equipment again. As it always does, you need somewhere to put something, you know, some glasses of milk there that's been drunk over the period. Anyway, let's show you what's going on. First of all, this is some of the shelves that we've been building, and they're all supporting their own weight by half joints. So if I can show you some of these half joints here, can you see? You can see them timbers there. It's very dark, I grant you. And then the supports there, look. Can you see the centre supports there that run all the way through? Can you see that? And they all do, because I've had to put that in two halves because it's so wide for the timber that I actually had. Can you see? Oh. And just get out of the light of the camera there. And that's just one shelf. I'm considering putting another shelf up higher than that, but they do need to be quite high up because of I plan to put boxes underneath, you see, with things in, so you can just pull the boxes out and rummage through the boxes, you know. This one has just been built here. It's same again, except the back piece hasn't been put in yet, but it will be, of course. And that's at the same height as the other one, and of course the same half joints that you see there and there. Can you see that, folks? Now, of course, this piece of timber that you see on top here, this is just the timber that I'm using. This is just the timber that I'm using for the shelving. Of course, it's all going to be painted white, and then once I'm happy with all that there, then I'll be ready to put the actual top on, which will probably be MDF. Do you know, that saved some workers, that, folks, it really has. It does all the cuts for me, does that. I'm really glad I got one of those. But that's about the size of what's happened so far. So we've got one shelf at that side now that's strong enough, by the way, to take my weight. I'll just show you that here. If I actually climb in there, oh, I'm now actually stood on top of this shelf. Can you see that, folks? Let's show you that there's no legs anywhere there. This is me stood on top of one of the shelves. They must be strong, I'll tell you for why, because I've got some old HF radios that's very heavy, and power supplies and oscilloscopes and stuff, and some of them are very heavy, and you need to be able to you need to be able to be strong, or should I say some of the joints do, strong enough to be able to take your weight. And the old workbench, I can assure you, once that top's on, that'll be strong enough to jump up and down 5 people easily. And then that way, when it's all loaded up and it's got all its equipment, you see the top shelves, the weight of the top shelf will be supported by the bottom, and even the shelf above. You see, these walls, folks, the plasterboard, you can't just be drilling into there unless you know where you're going to be drilling and screwing to, unless you're going to be plugging, because they're all plasterboard. And you see these little faint red lines, you might not be able to see it, but can you see that? Can you see that little faint red line? Well, that's why you see all the joints taking place here, and that's because there's a stud behind there. There's a stud, of course, every 12 inches, so there's one there and there's another one there. Can you see that lead line there, folks? So every 12 inches basically there's another stud there you see in the corner, and that's why you see that leg there slightly offset to cater for the stud that's there. Anyway, I'll bring you more video as soon as we have it live and direct in the Vannies workshop. This has now got to carry on and be finished off so that the painting can start then. All this lot has all got to be painted, of course, and once it's all painted then it won't look so bad. And then we're gonna put the worktop on in 3 separate pieces. There's going to be a centerpiece that's going to seam up in the middle of this joint here, and the other side of the centerpiece will seam up on this side here, along with a right hand piece that will go on top of that slot, and a left hand piece that will go on top of that slot. And the reason for that is so that I've got one nice work area here. All this area here will be where the main area of the working area goes, and you know, my screws and stuff that's rolling around on workbench or whatever won't get wedged in little gullies. There'll only be one gully, and that'll be there, and another one there, which then I might put something over it to stop it, you know, a bit of decorator's filler or whatever, or just to stop it from stop little washers and stuff going inside it. Quite amazing to see it now, folks, because I know what it's going to look like. You don't. So all the best, and we'll see you the next time in the Vannies workshop. Goodbye. Hey, good evening again. Good evening and good evening again. As you can see, the room is changing. I don't know where I were last time I made this film, but as you can see at the moment I'm using the workbench for some semi-storage while most of the painting's getting done. You can see the door now is nearly ready for its gloss coat. I think it just wants one more coat on now, and then I shall be happy with it. Seems a bit blurred today, I don't know why. Anyway, that's about the size of it. Most of these have had a lick of paint. Right, you can see that most of them's had a lick of paint on now. Usual place for a cup of tea. And as you can see, the windowsill, the flange has been put on for the first time ever, and it's starting to look very much like a window frame now. Hello ladies and gentlemen again. Hello ladies and gentlemen again. Just thought I'd show you what's going on here in the Vannies workshop right now. Okay, as you can see, we have an undecorated room, completely undecorated. Looks a bit blurred to me there. Looks totally undecorated. We always have the cup of tea. It's so important to have a pot of tea there, and a little speaker there, giving us the audio so that we can keep an eye on the radio, what's going down. Okay, as you can see, got a bit of laminate floor going round there, with a nice expansion gap, as you can see. That's the expansion gap there, and but we've stopped here. That's the underlay there on the left that you can see, and eventually what will happen is there'll be a piece of bead all the way around like that I've just using for measure. Hello again folks, hello again. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, the top part of the wallpaper still hasn't been put on yet. It still hasn't been put on yet on the top part, but at least, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting there. We've got the floor down now. From there, that's one side of the room, going all the way across to underneath the workbenches. Do you remember when I told you we had a problem getting past there? Well, we've now got past there, folks, now, and I've just put a little bit of beading around each bottom of the leg there as they come down. Can you see that there? Just a little bit of handle beading, and it just finishes it off, you know, and you get the beading all the way down. It just finishes it off, you know, and you end up with a different finish. It just makes it all come to life a little bit, you know. Anyway, showing you some of the workbenches now. As you can see, I'm just going to leave that painted white at the back of the bench, but that's how it's going to be basically. It's just going to be just like that, just a workbench all the way from that side all the way to that side, with then two shelves above that. Once the worktops are on, of course, that all that you see there is just bits of the waste flooring, or some spare pieces of flooring here, and that's going to be the top half of the wallpaper when it eventually gets on. A bit of a border all the way around, you know. They cost a bloody fortune, them folks, they really do. Really expensive stuff. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very sorry for the massive delay of showing you my workshop, but here it is, long due. Hey, a bit of windowing on the windows. I'm sorry about that. It's just that I still haven't got any curtains up there, as you can see. I'm thinking about putting blinds up or curtains, I'm not too sure yet. But anyway, this is about the size of the workshop there. And as you can see, there's surely be enough room to work on. Anyway, let's try and show you around here and show you what's going on. As you can see, I've got my old Yamaha in there. £3,900 when it were brand new. I paid £60 for it. I really do treasure it. Wish I could play it much better than I can. I'm going to have a Roland W30 workstation on top of there. After I've taken that off, it's just screwed on with hinges, and I'm going to put some cloths down to stop it getting marked. It's lovely condition. And I'm going to have a Roland W30 on there, with a speaker down there and another speaker there, and a rack here that's going to have a computer on with some amplification gear. And oh wow, look at that, look at the condition of my little sharps. Can you see that? I don't know whether you can see it, but look at that. Wow, forget the other radios, they're just a pile of cack in my opinion. They all come under that category, but the Sharps is a little bit special because it could produce real cracking audio, but no coverage. Little Sharps, sorry, an Onkyo amplifier there, a Denon freehead cassette deck there, which I've had for years. Of course, a B77 up here, and another pair of hi-fi speakers here, Freeway Animals. They're going to work for the MIDI system. some of the project radios. All these here have been finished. Try and show you them a little bit. And all these radios are all working now, but they just want cabinets for these top three. And those radios there are actually finished off. Cobra 148 GTL DX. Whew. Very poorly. A77, which will eventually get finished off. And a Revox here on test. Okay.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart.
Just watch the servo control, folks.
Look at me under control.
Yeah, that. And this feelings, they're strong. On my Studio Ones. It says that they're rated at 300 watts. If you put 300 watts in them, folk, you blow them to bits. 100 watts, ladies and gentlemen. 300 watts. Where do they get the figures from? Another A77 here for restoration. And beautiful digital sweep audio generator for producing tones, for testing, of course. Any tape recorders are out, looking at speed problems or even whoa.